everybody, welcome back to Banata Salam Network.
Hello everyone, welcome to Banata Salam Network. With you today is Keji Isaac.
I'm unshakable roots is what I am.
Hello Keji.
Hi Kiden.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine too. I'm so happy to have you with me here today.
It is my pleasure.
It's always a pleasure to have you. And today I would like to, before we start, tell us more about yourself. Tell us what you do. Tell us your passion. Tell us a fun fact about you. Tell us more about you. We want to know more about Keji.
This is interesting. Okay, let me start. So, my name is Keji, Esther, Isaac, and Osa. You can call whichever you want, but I would obviously go with Keji. You know, it's called indigenous. Yeah, I'm a student at Kenya Methodist University, pursuing bachelor's in human nutrition and dietetics.
Nice.
I am passionate about singing, dancing, community. I love the sense of a community. Just seeing people around and seeing them doing what is good is a passion to me.
That's great to know. Maybe at the end of this video we can hear some vocals.
Obviously.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So could you tell us, as you stated, you are soon to be graduate, and first of all I want to know what has drawn you to the degree or the course you are doing right now. What made you choose that course? What?
Honestly, this has been one of the hardest decisions to make during that time before I started this course, because I had so much going on, like, should I do this course? Should I not do this course? So you know how you always have a lot of opinions about you should do this, you should not do this. Obviously it wasn't my first choice, but then after some time I realized that I don't have to do something just because somebody wants me to do it, but then I have to do it because it's passion, because I love doing it. So as I stated before, I do nutrition and dietetics, and that came in line after my high school, and I'd always wanted to be a journalist, by the way. So you can imagine the distance between journalism and nutrition. And many people ask me, how did you run from journalism to nutrition? And just to cut the story short, I found an inspiration. I found reasons why I should do nutrition. And as per your question, the journey or the reason why I went for that is because I got inspired by someone. I got inspired by the society I live in. I got inspired by how people lived their life. So I thought I could do something, and that's why I decided to do nutrition.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I should actually come for some nutritional tips.
Yes, I got you.
And as you stated, you have been here you have been doing the course for almost 4 years.
Yes,
and you're
that's
almost
right.
done. So I want you to tell us some of the, can I say, challenges you faced as a foreign student in a foreign land, alone, with no family and all that. What are some of the challenges that you have faced?
Woo.
And things you have learned
Let me
along the
breathe
way?
in and out. This is the best part of it now, and I'm gonna tell you this as a naked truth. Being in a foreign country is one of the hardest things everyone would ever go through. Okay, it's fun, but it's also hard. So I'm going to begin by this. You know, when you come out from your country, you feel like, oh my God, I'm going to a new country. Call it, I'm going abroad, right?
I'm crossing the border.
I'm crossing the border. But you actually never know what you're going to face. Well, coming to Kenya for the first time the experience was not as good as I expected. Being in a foreign country with no family around you, and with not knowing anybody, not even friends, because remember, you're the first person, or you're still new in a country. So it becomes really challenging because you don't have somebody to guide you, so you have to find things on your own. You have to navigate everywhere to get to what you want. So the biggest challenge I faced was being a South Sudanese is really we deserve a certificate for that, because we've gone through a lot from home up to where we are right now. So you find that most of the times when you settle in a country, the aspect of what goes on in your country is actually carried with you. Like, people define you according to what happens in your country.
Yeah.
So for example, my skin color, I pass and somebody says Musudi, you know, that's how they call you. And I'm wondering why this is happening, but it happens in every country. I'm very sure if you see Kenyans or Ugandans in my country, they call them what? Wewe. And it might seem as something very normal, but then it has a psychological impact on a human being. Sometimes you feel like, why are they doing this to me, or why are they doing this to me? Another thing is when it comes to the sector of school, like I said, we come from different backgrounds of education in South Sudan. You cannot compare the education system of South Sudan and Kenya. So it becomes challenging to cope up, or the transition between your country and another country. So it took me a very long time, a commitment, a dedication, so that I could fit in, because some of the things that were taught were not the ones I knew. So I had to try as much as I can to fix in myself so that I can also perform well. When it comes to the social life, we all understand that our country is a developing country, and most times we do not have so many things as other countries. We're all trying and we're still coming up. And one thing I've realized is most of us who are brought from our countries, when we come to a foreign country, we tend to be pressured into doing things. And what I mean is, for example, the lifestyle we live back home might not be the lifestyle we're living in here right now, because you get exposed to do new things, new ideas, new people, and all that just becomes overwhelming. Sometimes you feel like, I want to do this, I want to do this. You don't even know what to do.
Distracted and lost.
Yes, like you get distracted because, okay, so in this country people are doing this, I have to try. You also try. In this country people are doing this, you also try. You forget the goal that you're supposed to do. For example, I don't know, the name is Slay Queen. I don't know, they call her Slay Queen or something. This is a lifestyle that you can actually adopt, or you can perceive from somebody. When you see somebody doing something, you feel like, oh, I need to do the same thing.
Peer pressure.
But you forget where you come from.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You forget the goals, you forget the objective of why you're here. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it has distracted so many of us because we feel like, okay, we are now abroad and we can do whatever we want to do. And that becomes a challenge because it will affect how we perform in school. And if it affects us, then that means our career is doomed. Yeah.
That's true, and I think what you are trying to talk about is the peer pressure that a lot of us have gotten into, and a lot of that got lost into. We lost track of what we have come to do. We have lost track of who we want to become, or what we want to become in general. So I want you to tell me some of the things that you learned along the way that helped you to navigate your way, as you said, or helped you to focus and not get distracted by this kind of activities or this kind of influences.
One thing I can for sure say has really helped me is discipline. You know, when you have discipline in whatever thing you do, you will always just go with the path. And this is one thing I've come to learn the hard way, you know, because you're living alone. That means you have to learn financial literacy. You have to learn how to make decisions on your own. You have to learn how to maintain yourself. So many things going on. That means everything is left on you. So I've learned that being in a different country, or living alone, or being in a specific place without the care of your family, you have to take responsibility. And by responsibility, I mean, what time am I getting home? What time am I supposed to do work? What time am I supposed to do this? What time am I supposed to do this? And I've learned this because of discipline. If you put discipline in place, you will go wherever you want to go. Another thing I've learned is the different people I've interacted with, I've gotten new and fresh perspective about life. You know, When I was back home, all I thought was, okay, this is this and this is right. I never was open to learning new things. I wasn't open to unlearning the things that were not right. But then interacting with people has made it easier for me to understand that, okay, people have different perspectives of life. People have different ideas. People have different views of how they see life. And it's okay to just take it and know that, okay, people have diversity, and I have to respect that. I have to understand that people are different, and I just have to take it in and understand that this is how we live. Another thing I've come to realize is that you don't need a crowd to cheer you up in whatsoever you want to do. As long as you know it is right, and you know it's not gonna affect you, and you know it's a solid thing, it doesn't matter what people think about you. Because most of the time we tend to have really good ideas, we tend to have really good things we want to do, but because of what we think, okay, what will so and so think about me? What will my neighbor say about me? It's not like that, sweetheart. You have to do it because you know it's right, and you know it's important to you. So you don't have to let anything that comes from out to distract you, because you know it's a right thing to do. And the other one is, this is a very important point, it's about disappointments. Disappointments happen everywhere in life, and when you're in the course of your study, sometimes you get so much disappointments from your friends, from school, from your lecturers, from your parents, almost everywhere. Okay, because for instance, I'm seated and I'm expecting to get maybe some help from a friend, because we sometimes reach a situation where you find it really very hard, that you feel like this is too much, I need to give up in life. But no, that's not the case, because they will always come. Disappointments will always come. So if you put in your mind that they will happen, because they are human, you just have to know that they happen, and then you focus on and move on with your goal.
Keji, you said something about unlearning, things that you have unlearned, or things that you have carried from South Sudan. And I can call it the mindset, or the kind of things that you have learned in South Sudan, and you came with it here, but you found out that things are different. What are some of the things that you had to unlearn, or you had to let go of, and you changed a perspective about?
I think I unlearned some of the things that I had thought were there and were the right ones. For example, learning to let people go. Okay, oftentimes we think that people come into our life to stay forever, but I came to realize that human beings are changing constantly. Seasons change constantly, behavior change constantly, and if you learn that people will never be there forever, then that's a really good trait. Because this is one thing I had to unlearn, that not everyone who comes to your life will be there forever. Could be friends, could be relationships, could be situations. Sometimes you can be in a really terrible situations, but they will all come to pass. So this is one thing I've really come to unlearn, that you shouldn't hold grudges just because somebody did something to your life or some situation happened in your life. So you have to let things go and move on with your life into getting a new, fresh beginning, and you can start off from there.
That's a great point, actually. That's a really great point. And I want you to tell me the kind of help you got when you first came here, like as a fresher, as a brand new South Sudan in Darjuba. What kind of help did you get? Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't so lonely. Mm-hmm. Maybe you asked for help here and there. Yeah. What kind of help did you get?
Honestly, what I can assure you is, when you go to another country and you find your countrymen, that is one of the happiest feelings you'll ever had.
Facts,
because when you go into a new country, you feel like, oh my god, everything looks foreign. But when you meet somebody from your country, it could be from, as long as they just say, I'm from your country, you feel that sense of safety. You feel the sense of belonging.
True.
You know? And that is just enough support. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be anything. Just them being there and you knowing that this person is actually from my place actually means a lot. So that is another help that I got. I got a group of South Sudanese people and I felt really good. I felt very safe. And so many other problems that happen, we tend to share and they can come up with solutions that they think are very effective. So I think that is one of the greatest help I really got.
Amazing. That's actually so true.
Yeah.
So now that you are soon to be graduating, I'm so excited about that.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you inspire, like as you are now crossing into a new stage of life? You are no longer a college student. You are going to be a graduate, and now you are getting into the field and you are using the concepts that you have learned all these years and put it actually into real life situations. How do you feel? What do you look forward to?
First of all, I really want to say I feel great, and I feel like with the knowledge I have, I'm gonna do great things.
Amen.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. So I really aspire to go back home and deliver to my people, because East or West, home is the best. Yes. So I aspire to go back home and deliver the services based on the knowledge that I got, and I promise to do my best.
We are looking forward to.
Yes. So
And
you
now-
out there, if you're looking for a health diet, I'm here to help you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So as we are concluding the episode, how do you want to conclude this? What are the last messages that you'd love to tell young women who are looking forward to go abroad or go to neighboring countries for universities or further education, and they haven't ever left home before? What are some of the advices that you can give them and some motivation?
My dear brother, my dear sister, I would like to tell you this. If you're going to, or you're planning to go for education abroad or in the neighboring countries, you have to put one thing in mind. Why are you going there in the first place? There are going to be so many problems, so many temptations, so many challenges, things that you didn't expect, because most times when you just hear, I'm going abroad, you feel like, I'm leaving this country finally. But that's not the case. You have to be ready for every challenge that will come your way. They'll reach a point where sometimes you miss your family and you're so broken, you feel lonely. Sometimes your financial status might be very poor and you feel like, no, I'm not doing this again. But you know what? You're gonna get through it. It's just a situation. It's just a moment. So what I would like to tell you is, if you're going to another country, you have to know the reason why you're going there. You have to have your goals set. I'm going to this country, I'm going to do this and this. I'm not saying you're not going to have fun. I'm not saying you're not going to go out with your friends. You're not going to do this and that. But I'm just saying you have to know the reason why you're going. If you know the reason, then all your plans will be towards making that reason come to pass. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have you here with me.
Always a pleasure.
And I'm also sad because the episode is ending.
And don't worry, you can always get us here. Subscribe, like,
An
and get
undivided piece of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so